Mary McLeod Bethune was born on July 10, 1875, in Maysville, South Carolina. Bethune was a child to former slaves and grew up in poverty as one of 17 children. Bethune's family worked in fields, but became one of the only children in her family to go to school when a missionary opened for nearby African American children. She walked to school every day and did her best to share her knowledge with her family. She later on got a scholarship to Scotia Seminary, an all-girls school. After graduating, she went to Dwight Moody Institution and Foreign Mission in Chicago. She finished her studies and went back to South Carolina to become an educator. She married fellow teacher Albertus Bethune in 1898. The couple had one child named Albertus Bethune. She believed that education provided the key to racial advancements. McLeod Bethune then founded the Daytona North Industrial Institute for Girls in Florida in 1904. The school started with 5 students. She was able to expand the school to have more than 250 students within 1 year. She remained in charge after it was combined with the Cookman Institute for Men in 1923. It later became Bethune-Cookman College, and it was one of the few places that African American students can pursue a college degree. In addition to her work, Bethune did a lot to contribute to American society. She served as president of the Florida chapter of the National Association of Colored Women for many years and became the organization's national leader. She also became involved in government services. In 1935, Bethune became a special advisor to President Roosevelt in minority affairs. That same year, she started her own civil rights organization, the National Council of Negro Women. Bethune created the organization to represent numerous groups on critical issues for African American women. In 1936, she became the director of Division of Negro Affairs of the National Youth Administration. The main purpose was to help young African American people to find jobs opportunities. One of the nation's leading educators and activists, Mary McLeod Bethune, spent much of the rest of her life devoted to social causes. After leaving Bethune-Cookman College in 1942, she took out residence as its new National Council of Negro Women headquarters in Washington Townhouse in 1943 and lived there for several years. An early member of National Associations for the Advancement of Colored People, she helped represent the group at the 1945 conference in founding the United Nations along with W.E. Du Bois. Eventually returning to Florida in her retirement, Bethune died on May 18, 1955 on Daytona, Florida. She was remembered for her work to advance the rights for both African Americans and women. Bethune has been honored in many ways. In 1973, she was included into the National Women's Hall of Fame. The U.S. Postal Service issued a stamp with her likeness in 1985. In 1994, the U.S. Postal Service bought the former headquarters of the NCNW. The site is known as the Mary McLeod Bethune Castle House National Historic Site. Among her list in spirit, she wrote, "I live you the thirst of education. Knowledge is a prime need of the hour. If I have a legacy to leave my people, it's to the philosophy of living and serving."